All right, today we're jumping into a really heavy hitter. It's a story about cosmic bets, the limits of human potential, and what happens when an idea literally becomes flesh. This is the Arrow of Longing.
Okay, so right off the bat, we get this really powerful image. Think about it. An arrow shot at the sun. It doesn't look back. It doesn't care about the shadows it's leaving on the ground. Its only purpose is to keep going up. This one idea, it's the key to the whole story. So let's keep it in our back pocket as we dive in.
So let's get into it. Part 1, a Faustian wager. This whole thing kicks off not on Earth, but in this kind of cosmic space where ideas are what really matter, and someone's about to make a bet on the soul of humanity itself.
So let's set the scene. We're in the 19th century, and our protagonist, well, he's not your typical hero. He's this frail scholar. His body is just wrecked by illness. But his mind? Oh, his mind is an absolute furnace. He's called a Faust of the mind, and he's just obsessed, wrestling with what he calls human delusion. You get this amazing image of him being like a bow, just pulled so tight it's about to snap, ready to launch something incredible. And this is where things get interesting. This scholar, he becomes the centerpiece of a crazy cosmic bet. On one side, you've got the all-will. Think of it as pure, raw potential. And on the other, Mephistopheles himself. And the bet is pretty simple, but it's huge. What happens if you completely unchain a human will? Does it just keep soaring, or is it destined to come crashing back down? So let's really look at the stakes here. You've got Mephistopheles, right? The ultimate cynic, the guy who always says no. He's betting it's all gonna fail. He's like, trust me, the second this guy gets a taste of real, terrifying freedom, he's gonna fold. He'll beg for comfort, and he'll end up being a slave to his own fear. But the all-will? It's not even making a bet in the same way. It's just asking a question. Can he do it? Can a will sustain that kind of longing? It's not about expecting failure. It's about exploring the possibility of success. And this really gets to the heart of what Mephistopheles believes about us, about humanity. He is just so sure that freedom is too heavy a burden for anyone to carry, that no matter how strong you think you are, that unbound potential will crush you. He thinks that deep down, what we really want is to just check out, the sweet oblivion of comfort.
Okay, so you've got the bet, you've got the subject. Now you just need the trigger, the thing that's going to set this whole experiment in motion. And believe me, it is an explosive moment.
So how does it happen? Through this thing called Project Zarathustra. You hear gamma-fueled cage and you immediately think of something like the Hulk, right? And it's just so ironic. It was built to contain and control this incredible potential, to turn it into a weapon. And of course, if you know your philosophy, that name Zarathustra is a massive clue about where this is all headed. And you can probably guess what happens next. The project doesn't just fail, it fails spectacularly. That cage, it stood no chance. It gets completely blown apart by a single, world-changing cry.
Kimota. And just like that, everything is different. The person who was there before, gone, completely annihilated.
And what's left standing in the rubble? Not the scholar. It's someone or something else. Wotan, the Overman. Now, if you've read Nietzsche, you know what this means. This is a being that has gone beyond what it means to be human. He's not just a guy with a philosophy anymore. He is the philosophy, a living, breathing thesis with the power of a god.
So this is the really critical part to get. The change isn't just a power-up, it's a total replacement. That sick, doubting scholar is just gone. And remember our metaphor? The guy who is the bow, he's now become the arrow. All that potential energy is now pure, unstoppable kinetic force.
Okay, so the arrow has been fired. Now what? It has to go somewhere, right? Well, Wotan comes back down to Earth, and he's about to face his first big test, maybe the biggest one of all.
He lands right in the middle of civilization, what the story calls the marketplace. And the people there, they're described as this broken herd. When they see this god walking among them, what's their first reaction? They reach out. They want a savior.
And of course, who's right there whispering in his ear? Mephistopheles. And check out how clever this temptation is. He doesn't offer him money or a kingdom. No, it's way more subtle. He offers him the chance to be loved, to be worshipped. Just be their savior, he says. Give them that comforting lie of pity, and they'll adore you forever. And that's the choice, isn't it? What's the better path? Do you save people from their pain? Or do you push them to become strong enough to overcome it on their own?
So what does Wotan do? Well, he doesn't agonize over it. His answer comes down like a bolt of lightning.
He looks out at all those desperate, reaching hands, and he sees something else. He understands that if he saves them, he's actually damning them. He'd just be locking them into their weakness, anchoring them to their own stagnation. It would be like patting them on the head as they slowly fade into nothing.
And then he just lays it out plain and simple. This quote says it all. He's not here to be a crutch for our petty sorrows. His goal isn't to make us comfortable. His goal is to be a new standard, to show humanity what it could be, and then to go beyond even that.
So, yeah, no helping hand, no easy way out. He literally just throws the challenge right back in their faces. It's not, let me help you, it's, help yourselves, be better, surpass yourselves. All the responsibility, all the work, it's on them.
And then he just starts tearing down everything they believe in. He tells them they're shelters, they're safe spaces, they're just delusions. All your religions, your morals, your codes, you didn't build those from strength, you built them from fear. And all the little comforts you cling to, they're just ways to hide from the terrifying, beautiful truth of existence. He basically says, you are all terrified of the lightning, so you huddle in the dark and pretend it isn't there.
So he's delivered his message, he's torn down their world, and now Wotan makes his final move. The move that decides that cosmic bet once and for all.
And what does he do? He just turns around and walks away, literally steps over their hands and leaves. He chooses what's called glorious isolation. By doing this, he's completely rejecting the role of savior. Instead, he becomes something else entirely, the meaning of the earth. A being who doesn't follow the rules of reality, he makes.
And you can just imagine the look on Mephistopheles' face. That smug, cynical smile just melts away and turns into genuine unease. Because in that moment, he realizes he got it all wrong. He lost the bet. He thought the will to power was about getting to the top and staying there, being comfortable in your power. But it's not. It's about the climb. It's about the endless flight. The point wasn't to become the Overman. The point was to refuse to stop becoming.
And that's where the story leaves us, with this incredible and honestly kinda unsettling question. There's no neat ending, just an arrow still in flight. It forces us to ask, what does it actually mean for a person, for a will, for a longing, to refuse to ever land, to choose the journey over any possible destination? What does that even look like?